Hey, this is Kira with Royal. I hope you're having an amazing day today. Okay, I want to share a short and sweet little word to you. So tune in, listen in. It's going to be so good and it's going to impact your life. All right, how many of y'all have heard of the girl named Esther? That's what we are going to be reading today in Esther chapter 1. Now, I'm going to give you a little backdrop or history about the first chapter. So here we have the king and the queen. They are throwing a very dope party, all right? Separately, so it just hadn't been huge. They just went all out on having this party, okay? And so here we have the king that says in verse 12 of chapter 1, the king pretty much asked that Queen Vashti would come on over so he could kind of put her on display to all of his boys. Okay? Yeah. So verse 12 said, but when they conveyed the king's order to Queen Vashti, so here we have, it was an order. It was like, she doesn't have a choice, right? She refused to come. This made the king furious and he burned with anger. Okay, I guess that would only make sense for sure, especially as a queen. He was super shocked by her response, as anybody would be. But let's read just a little bit further on what happened, and we're going to talk about some great stuff. So in verse 16, it says that Memucan, and I may be saying that wrong, answered the king and his nobles. Queen Vashti has wronged not only the king, but also every noble and citizen throughout your empire. Women everywhere will begin to despise their husbands when they learn that Queen Vashti has refused to appear before the king. Before this day is out, the wives of all the king's nobles throughout Persia and Media will hear what the queen did and will start treating their husbands the same way. There will be no end to their contempt and anger. Man, such a mouthful. Long story short, these guys were like, listen, Queen Vashti has made a decision that is about to impact the whole place. Long story short, okay? I just can't believe. And it was just this one response. I think that some of us often miss that sometimes one decision can change the trajectory of our whole life, as well as whoever is around us. So I'm going to talk to y'all real quick and give you 3 points about the fact that you are an influence. Now, point number 1, the position you hold is influential. Now, I know that you may say, well, I ain't a queen, Kira. I'm not a first lady, whether in the church or for the United States, okay? I'm none of those big positions, but I think you need to think a little bit deeper. You are influential in whatever position you hold. Some of us, we have the position and honor to be a sister to someone, to be a mom, to be a daughter. Okay, we could take it a step further. Maybe you hold the position of being a CEO or a pastor's wife or a wife, okay, right? Or you're a mentor at a camp with kids. Maybe you work at a department store. Maybe you are the shift leader at a particular place. Whatever position you hold, just know that it is a place of influence and that people see it, no matter how low you may think it is or how high you think it is. Sometimes I think that it's just the everyday ones that sometimes people kind of miss or take for granted, versus the ones that are in a higher position where they know everyone is watching them. But believe it or not, someone from way across the room or right there next to you in your cubicle or next in the door across the hall, they're watching you. You just never know. You could be in a dorm room watching this, and your dorm mate or the person across from you, they're watching you every morning. They see, oh man, she gets to class on time, or she's always studying. She makes sure to get her exercise in. She's happy. Whatever that is, you just never know who you're being an influence to. Okay, number 2, be the influence that someone wants to follow. Man, that's just a chunk in itself, okay? These guys knew that, hey, listen, Vashti, is an influence that ladies want to follow. I could imagine there were tons of women that would have loved to be queen, okay? So you need to be an influence that someone wants to follow. Ask yourself, am I worth somebody following? If my life was put on a big screen TV, would I be an influence to someone? Would I be someone that someone else wants to follow? And I'm not saying that you got to follow each person that you see or what have you. That's not where I'm going. But what I am saying is that if you say I'm a believer and I'm a follower of Christ, that is our position as believers, okay, on this earth, that we mimic Christ, that we look just like him, so that other people and more people want to really ultimately follow Christ. A lot of places I go, people all the time are like, oh my gosh, your smile is so beautiful. And when I was young, my dad always taught me to smile big, show those teeth, show those cheeks. And so I think I just kept at it, But my smile alone, I've noticed that it helps brighten people's day. That maybe they had a bad day and they saw my smile and it changed everything. I remember being in Walmart one day and a lady who was stocking things for, I don't know if it was sunscreen or something to that nature. And she stopped me and she said, can I just tell you that you just have such a beautiful smile? And it has just helped my day so much, because her daughter had COVID but was also pregnant, and she was just a little disturbed by it. And so, we prayed for her. And so you never know what little things that you do, right, that can make a big impact on someone else, which brings me to my last point. Be mindful of your everyday decisions. It's kind of that mundane life every day. What things do you do every day? We call them routines, right? So remember that. What routinely do you do? Something about me, things that I like to do. Like I told you, smile big. I like to speak to people. Hey, how's it going? I hope you're good. Those are things that I do, all right? Something else, if I'm thinking about somebody, I'm going to send them a text. How are you? What's going on? Believe it or not, that makes a big impact on people. And man, they're just affected by that. There are tons of times I have yelled at my kids. So that wasn't a good influence, right? Because you never know what mom is watching me and she's trying to work on. Man, how do I discipline my kids without yelling? There's just so many avenues that you can be an influence in. But it really just starts with everyday choices. Making sure that you make a good choice every day. Every single day. And sometimes that could be hard, because like Queen Vashti, she got loose, she got free, she was partying. So she kind of maybe just forgot her position, forgot his position. I don't know. Maybe they just were already at odds. Who knows, okay? But sometimes how can I put this? You can possibly make the best choices or not the best choices in the hardest of times or the best of times. And I think that those are the times where sometimes we're caught off guard. Maybe something crazy has happened in your life that just took you off guard, and you're going crazy about it, or yelling or cursing or whatever. And you're like, wait, what? I need to be at peace. I need to go pray. I need to ask the Lord for help, or whatever. Or you could get so loose and free and just laughing, and you're like, oh, you may say something that you shouldn't have said, or did something that you shouldn't have done. So just be mindful of even that. All right, so I'm going to go through these 3 points one more time. Number 1, the position you hold is influential. Number 2, be the influence someone wants to follow. And number 3, be mindful of your everyday decisions or choices. Just remember that you are an influence, and also be royal. Thank you so much for watching. Please share this with somebody that it could be a blessing to. And hey, remember to like our Facebook page, our Instagram page, so you can see more of these things. And follow us. All right, have a great day. Bye.